My name is Joseph Darling. This is the Men of High Value channel. Today we're going to talk about stimulants. So what are stimulants? Stimulants are anything that brings feelings of temporary happiness or pleasure or contentment or anything that makes you feel real good in the moment, but that if you did that thing every single day, it would destroy you. So those are stimulants. So what are some things in that category? Well, I would include anything like, for example, alcohol. For example, cigarettes. Any tobacco that you put in your mouth. Any drugs. And I'm talking about over-the-counter drugs, okay? For those of you who are not over 70 and you're almost dying, okay? If you're not in that predicament, then you shouldn't be taking any drugs, not so ever. It's not necessary. I'll get into that, into why afterwards. Coffee, okay? It's a stimulant. Some people would say tea as well, but I haven't. Yeah, so I don't know what about tea. You guys can make your own decision about that. But you understand these things that I'm mentioning here. Also other things that massively include sugar. You shouldn't be eating that every single day. Why is this? Why am I so focused on that? Because, as many people say, one, your body is a temple. Okay, so a temple is a house of God. And your body is a house of God, which basically means that if you don't keep yourself clean, okay, if you don't keep your body clean on the inside and on the outside, you won't be able to feel powerful. You won't be able to have the extra edge in your daily life, okay? And you could look at it from a religious standpoint, but I don't anymore. Like, I was heavily religious before, and I'm talking about organized religion. I'm not anymore. And it's interesting because I've seen that part, of it, and then now I've completely am abstaining from going to church and all those things because, like, I want it to be 100% true. If I'm going to do anything and basically commit my entire life to it, and I would do it. Like, if I knew that a religion had 100% truth and those principles that they taught worked every single day, every single night, no matter what I did, I just apply the principles and my life is absolutely abundant, fantastic. Like, I can't believe no one knows about this. I would lay down my life for that kind of religion. Okay? But only if it contains all of the truth. And they are way ahead of everyone else. I haven't found that religion yet. Okay, I know of one that's really close, but they're not there. And so I'm not going to dedicate my time for that as of now. So what I'm saying, so I'm sharing these thoughts with you as a no longer Christian. Or I'm a Christian, but no longer an organized religion. And I'm sharing this as a normal human being who just simply desires to follow the principles of truth. And my definition of truth is that which works in the long run and in the big scheme of things. And I can tell you right now, these stimulants that I've just listed, they don't work in the long run and in the big scheme of things. Why? Well, simply because if you drink alcohol every single day, and you're like, yeah, but you could just do a little tiny bit. Yeah, but who does a little tiny bit? No one does a little tiny bit. If you drink alcohol every single day, guess what? You're an alcoholic. And if you're not now, eventually you would be. Because you would need a little bit more alcohol or a little bit more percentage, in order for you to actually get that feeling, get that intoxication, And that would end up creating an exponential decline in terms of your body. Your organs. Oh my gosh. If we understood what the organs do for us, do for our bodies. Our digestive system. I just listened to RID 4 hours the last 3 days. And he talks about the organs all the time. It's all about the organs. And he says, if you focus on energy, you cannot go wrong. That's what he says. And he talks about how you should use your energy in order to heal the organs. And he talks about sexual energy as well, and we'll get into that as well. But in terms of the organs, think about what you're doing to your organs when you are putting those things inside your body that do not belong there. Okay, so this is the same with cigarette smoking. Are you still smoking cigarettes? If you are, semen retention is not going to help you that much, unless semen retention helps you to stop smoking, okay? Because stopping semen retention is more important than you stopping ejaculation. It's kind of strange thing to say, but I'm telling you, in terms of becoming a man, a masculine man, you have to get rid of those habits that are literally destroying your body. You cannot be an emotional stable man if you require things that you know are destructive for your body, but you still use them anyhow. How is that emotionally stable? That's not rational. You're not thinking with your brain, you're thinking with your body. Does that make sense? And it's the same thing with over-the-counter drugs, prescription drugs, any drugs, ayahuasca, cannabis, anything. I'm literally talking about these things because I know it's going to bless your life. I know it's going to massively, exponentially benefit you to abstain from all those things. I have not had any alcohol since I was 16 years old. It's been 17 years. I've never been drunk in my life. It was just when I was 14 years old, I tried to sip and okay, no big deal. I was out with my friends and nothing happened. And I didn't drink much because it didn't taste nice. I was like, what the hell is this? And then I didn't taste it again before 16 years old. I went to a birthday and I was a bit crazy all over the place that day for some reason, and I was like, hey, we should mix alcohol with milk, and so we did that, and I tasted it, and it didn't taste good either, so since then, I haven't had any alcohol. Anthony Robbins, he did not want to drink any alcohol growing up because his father was a drunkard, and he wanted to taste alcohol when he was a kid. He saw his father drinking, and he was like, hey, I want to taste some beer, and then his mother was like, okay, but if you're gonna taste beer, then you have to drink it the way your father drinks it. And so she basically gave him like a 6-pack, and he had to finish it on the spot. He finished it, and he threw up basically the entire evening. And he was like, this is it, I'm never gonna do that again. But he was a kid, and he had never tasted it before, so I don't know if it's gonna work with you if you try that tactic. So, but I'm just sharing this with you because if you manage to get that shift, understanding that masculinity is being in control. Masculinity is having emotional stability. Masculinity is not seeking for that immediate spike that causes an eventual decline. And a decline that's actually going to be exponential. Do you understand that point? And you have to look at the things in your life that are like creating massive spikes, but that can be massively destructive in the end. One of those things is like stupid gambling. Now, investing in the stock market, if you don't know what you're doing, I would say is stupid gambling. Like, I was growing up and I was told that gambling is wrong, and I was like, and now I'm like seeing poker players making money on it and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, but can you actually create an amazing, fantastic family unit with it? If you know what you're doing when it comes to trading and stock market and all that stuff, and you study it on a daily basis and you make it a job and not just something that you throw money at just to hope that it's going to grow. Just like Bitcoin these days, people are like just throwing money in there without knowing anything about it. Okay, and like if you're studying it on a daily basis, be my guest. Then you're educated. You're taking an educated risk. But if you're not taking an educated risk, but an uneducated risk, it's gambling. That is a stimulant. And it's causing the dopamine spike, and you're like, oh, I hope that I'm going to win. Ooh. Don't gamble, guys. It's ridiculous. It's a horrific investment of your money. And it's taking time, it's taking money. Like, I'm not saying that you can't play for like, $10 playing basketball on the court, or that you're playing for $10 with your guy friends playing poker. Like, I've never done that. I'd love to do that one day. But, I'm talking about the big money. And I'm talking about like taking it very seriously and like, oh, gambling is my life type thing. You saw Michael Jordan. He wasted tons of money gambling. All right? You don't fall in those traps. You want to take educated risks. You want to understand the world around you and understand, again, your body. Don't destroy your organs. All right? So what is a fantastic stimulant that you can have in your life? Well, let me explain semen retention, and then I'm going to explain sexual energy deeper. Semen retention is a natural form of stimulant. Now, let me explain. With semen retention, you actually are keeping your life force within, okay? Instead of just wasting it into nothingness, into the toilet, into the shower, into your sock, or whatever you use, don't do that. Okay, instead, learn to retain that energy inside your body by not touching it, not tampering with it, no edging, nothing. If you've never managed to do 30 days, just don't touch it at all. And create that discipline in you, and then go 90 days. Once you've gone 90 days and you've developed a business, and that business is producing massive amounts of cash flow, and you're thinking about, is it time for me to start dating? Fine. At that moment in time, you can now begin to learn the practice of non-ejaculatory orgasms and ejaculation control. This is critical for you to have a great relationship with your future woman. But in terms of the semen retention, it actually, every time you ejaculate, you are now using life force and energy from all of your organs. And what ends up happening is that your kidney goes now into survival mode. Okay? And what's going to happen is that once you ejaculate again, just within a few days, now it's going to not only use the survival mode aspect of your kidney, but it's also going to use all the other organs in order to create the life force necessary and the DNA necessary to create that sperm cell, or those sperm cells. We're talking about millions. And then you do it again, and your organs haven't had a chance to heal themselves yet. That's destructive. You're ruining your organs, and it's making you sick. If you haven't noticed, if you actually go between 30 and 90 days of semen retention, you'll notice you'd never get sick. That's what's so fantastic about semen retention. You're allowing your organs to be charged, just like a battery, getting fully charged. And then in the future, when you do ejaculate once in a while, like once every 6 months or once a year, or, sometimes there's a mishap when you're with your girlfriend. Oh, it was too exciting. It just happened. You won't feel depleted. But if you do it consistently, constantly, all the time, guess what? You'll be depleted, and it's going to ruin you eventually. This is something that you cannot do every single day consistently over a long period of time. It doesn't work in the long run and in the big scheme of things. That's why you don't do it. So the sexual energy, once you learn how to discipline yourself in that manner, and then you're able to refuel your body and your organs with sexual energy, and you bring it into your body like Mantak Chia says, and then you circulate it through your body, and you're creating fantastic energy. That's for a later time, not in the beginning of the practice of semen retention. Why is that? I'll try to explain it again. I've explained it before. But your body is in hyperdrive if you haven't managed to do 30 days of semen retention. after those 30 days, your body normalizes, okay? So instead of being up and down in terms of sexual excitement and no motivation, what you're learning to do is have a constant arousal, but that's lower than what you're used to. So instead of being like, whoa, and then falling and declining, you're now being down here in terms of arousal, but it's consistent. It is arousing, but it's consistent down here, and it's in controllable measures, or controllable amounts. That's what I'm saying. The sperm production is in controllable amounts, which means that you can control it easily. All right? And then, over time, once you've mastered it completely and you're preparing yourself to actually enter into that relationship with the woman of your dreams, you can now begin to increase that sexual energy and arousal, and then keep it up there. Keep it up there all the time. Motivation, instead of being up and down. So that's what I wanted to share about sexual energy. And that is healing your body. And you can actually keep that arousal up there consistently, having sex with your fantastic girlfriend, not ejaculating, and keeping that arousal intense and hot and up there all the time, and then channeling that towards your dreams and goals, and making things happen, and feeling passionate about life, and aroused, and sexual energy, man. Come on. It's amazing. Once you understand these principles, you don't need all the other crap anymore. Get rid of the alcohol, get rid of the cigarettes, get rid of the drugs, get rid of the unnecessary things in your life, the bad habits that you know will destroy you in the end if you just keep doing it. You want the exponential growth, not exponential decline. And as a man of high value, as a masculine man of high value, I want you on that exponential growth curve with us. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again tomorrow.